Hola familia, it's Alex. Thank you guys so much for tuning in today. So as you guys can see from the title today, I'm sharing with you guys my third, fourth, I can't remember how many videos of this I've done, but I'm showing you guys all the products that I currently have some pan in. Typically, I don't have too many because I normally would finish things off, but like I've mentioned in quite a few videos, I've gotten to a point where my makeup is going to be a lot harder to completely use up. So pan is more realistic for me and usage goals. So I have a whole basket full of products that I have not shared with you guys yet in a video like this that have pan in them. So if that's something that interests you, stay tuned. But first, if you're new to my channel, welcome to the familia. My name is Alejandra. I'm an eyeshadow enthusiast with a dash of Japan. If that is something that interests you, subscribe, join us. And now let's get on with all the products with pan in them. I am going to go ahead and link my last one that I did of this. I believe it was a year ago. Typically, like I mentioned, I don't have a lot of products that do have pan because I tend to completely finish things off. At this point, I have a lot of products still left in my collection, but they're a lot harder to completely use up. It's a lot easier to hit pan than it is to use up a lot of my products. So you're probably going to see this video more often. I do keep an ongoing list of the products I already shared with you guys in previous videos, so I do not repeat myself. So I do have a list. I pulled everything out that I have not shared with you guys since my last pandemonium, pandemic type of video. So I'm going to share with you guys everything that I have today. Some of these products I'm happy to share with you guys today because I have a feeling they probably won't exist in the future because I'll probably finish them off at some point or another. So let's start off with the one product that I can guarantee you will probably be done by next month, and that is my Cover FX face palette. If you have not followed me on this journey or have not seen any of my videos, I'll link them up in the iCards. I'm currently panning two face palettes. I'm going to repeat myself over and over. And this one I wanted to share with you guys and include in this video because I know it will be completely and empty by next month. So this is what this palette is looking like today. As you guys can see, I have 3 empties and one last product that has a major pan in it. I'm actually wearing it today. I don't know if you guys can tell. I don't know, but it is pretty. I do like it. It's not something that I'm disliking using. I believe I do have this in a powder form, a full size, so I'm not upset about using it up. This was a great palette. I'm happy I got use out of it before it went bad because it did have cream products in it. So yeah, this is the first product I want to share with you guys. Up next is my other face palette that I am panning. Now this one has a full pan in it, not exactly a little circle of one product. This is completely empty on this, but it is a pan within the palette, so I'm still calling it a pan. This was the cream bronzer and I was able to use it completely up. Currently, I am just trying to dibble dabble into these. Maybe I might hit pan on one of these by the end of the year. I don't know. So you might see this palette again in the future. Some things you may see as repeats because I have continuously hit pan in other shades within that palette. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see this in the future with some sort of pan in it somewhere. I have a few Z palettes with singles in them, and there is one in here particularly that I did hit pan on, and I believe this was in a project pan last year, and I forgot to share it with you guys last year. So this is called Peach Bum. This single came out of the Too Faced it was a peach palette that was sent to me by my friend Drea. It shattered on her. It shattered even more on me. So I depotted the last 4 shades that lingered from that palette, and this was one of them. And I was able to hit pan on it. It's really nice. These you'll probably see a lot more of because I have decided that I'm just going to go through all my palettes and at least hit pan on this shade because I know I can guarantee to do that, and that'll kind of get my palettes to look more used too. So that's the next shade I want to share with you guys out of here. Up next, I'm very proud to at least show you guys some palettes that do have pan because of my Pan Those Eyeshadows, which I will continue to always do since I find that to be a lot of fun. This is my Jouer Springtime in Paris palette. Now this is something recent. If you've been following me on my journey with my Pan Those Eyeshadows, you would have seen this already. But I have hit pan on one shade in here, and it was a really nice shade, I gotta tell you. Like, Jouer has really good formula for powder, so I'm happy that this looks like I dabbled into it. And not just that shade, I did dabble around, so at least this palette doesn't look brand new anymore, just sitting in my palettes collection, just collecting dust basically. A single. Now this one was tough. This one I'm very proud of, but I did end up using this as a liner, and that's why it has such a good pan in it. This is the L'Oreal Single Color Rouge in Quartz Fume. So I was able to hit pan on this by using it as an eyeliner. This is a special kind of formula where it's like a cream to powder, but it's a lot drier than a Super Shock shadow. So it was a little bit harder pressed in here, and I really had to dig in here, but I was able to hit pan, which I predicted I would never hit pan on these. But if you see that, these are very deep. So if you have one of these, good luck, because these will take forever to use up, that's for sure. Again, this was in my recent Pan Those Eyeshadows. This is the ColourPop Ooh La La palette, and I was able to hit pan on soft ochre. I keep calling it soft ochre, and I corrected myself, and I still do it. It's soft core. Don't know why I do that. It's called soft core. It's in here. It's really pretty. It was a really nice shade to use as a transition and as a buffing shade. So yeah, I'm shocked that I was able to hit pan on a matte in ColourPop, but again, I feel like certain mattes and certain palettes in ColourPop are a lot easier to hit pan than others. Now this is a palette that I'm constantly showing you guys new pans in, but I'm proud of it. This is one of my oldest palettes. It's still working perfectly fine. I disinfect it all the time, and I don't use it on anyone else but myself. This is my original Lorac Pro. This was actually a gift from my sister. You could tell how beat up this eyeshadow palette is. This is definitely my most beat up eyeshadow palette I own, period, end of story. I love it. Now in this one, I believe I definitely did not have pan on light pink last time I shared it with you guys, and I think that white is the other one that I hit pan on recently. So far I've been able to hit pan on almost all the mattes. I don't care about the black, to be honest with you guys, but all the mattes have pan now, and I really wanted that to happen. I'm probably going to pull this out again and try to hit pan on the shimmer shades. Nude and Champagne have a really nice dip in them, but I think I could do Golden, Bronze, and Pewter maybe. So we'll see. We'll see. You'll probably see this yet again for another round, because I'll probably try to hit pan on some of these more to get more use out of them. And I did get more use out of cream when I was panning light pink. So this palette is really used and abused. And I want a lot of my palettes to kind of look like this. I know it's hard because I own so many, but at least to somehow look like I've used them. My Anastasia Jackie Aina palette. This is a palette that I was not intending to have in my collection, but it was gifted to me. And of course, I am not going to say no. I was able to hit pan on Shookington in this palette. Now I mentioned in that palette bingo that was not my favorite shade. It's horribly crumbly, and that's a big old pan for not using it that much. So I was not a fan of that one, but I was a fan of the rest. I still got a dibble dabble in this palette more, but I have used it. But that one was not a good shade to start out with, let me tell you. The last eyeshadow palette that I have, this was something I hit pan on last year and I forgot to share it with you guys. This is the Storybook Fairy Tales Little Briar Rose. And I actually hit pan on the shade Thora here. So I forgot to share that with you guys. I did hit pan on the shade. This was a pretty nice shade, and you could see how much of a kick up it has on this shade. But yeah, I was able to hit pan on this palette, and it's actually not a bad color story, surprisingly. I wouldn't mind pulling this in for other shades. But yeah, this is a really nice color story, so I have that one. And last but not least is I do have a highlighter that I would hit pan on last year. This was a summer project pan that I put this in, and now that it is going out of business, I really don't want to finish it, but I went through all my face palettes, and I do have it in another face palette, so I'm not too sad to see it go. That is my Becca Opal. I really love this one. This is my favorite highlighter for the summer. It's so sad to see them go, honestly. I thought to myself that as I was getting older and my skin was becoming more textured, I still wanted to have some sort of glow, but nothing too vibrant. This was gonna be my go-to. Like, this brand was gonna be my go-to for face complexion stuff, especially highlighters. And it's a shame they're leaving, because this was honestly my favorite summer shade. This is just beautiful. I haven't touched it since, because I only touch it in the summertime, but I've actually been looking at Poshmark and Mercari to buy a backup of it, because I really do like it. I'm just afraid. I don't know. my birthday's coming up. Maybe I'll ask somebody to get it for me. I would really, really like a backup of this. It's just, it'll give me peace of mind knowing that I can still use it and continue to love it for at least a few more years before I completely am gone with it. Because this is really one of my favorites. One of my top favorites. There's a few, and this is definitely one of them. And yes, I could dupe it, but it's the formula that I am more drawn to because how beautiful it looks on the skin. They do such a good job when it came to powders. So this is the last product I want to share with you guys. It does have pan, and that'll probably be with pan for a while because I am going to sparingly use it now that I won't be able to repurchase it. And if you guys are wondering, yes, I've gone to Becca's website. I've gone to Sephora's, Ulta's, everywhere to try to see if I can get this, and everywhere it's sold out. The only place I could try to find this is at a secondhand shop, basically, at a thrift area online, and I'm like contemplating whether I want to do it or not. So if anybody doesn't want the rope, I'll be more than happy to take it off your hands. All right, guys, that's all that I have for you today. Those are all the products that I currently have pan on. Out of all these products, I see maybe one thing not being reappearing here. Maybe these might reappear again with other pans. I do have more pans in my collection, but I don't want to spoil my project pans for next month, so I'm gonna write those down and keep them for the next round of panning products that I want to share with you guys. So that's it. I hope I inspired somebody to at least hit pan on something, to see that shiny pan and look at it used and abused. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you guys in the videos on the screen if you want to continue your journey with me. Until then, adios.